Vessels by Which the Devil is Made Flesh is the third full-length album from Trondheim, Norway-based black metal band Misotheist. And I guess we wouldn't have to qualify their style so much as what niche that might fit in as black metal. It is decidedly atmospheric, but semi-dissonant, and is often lumped in with a band like Sinmara or Despel Omega in more recent years for their focus on extended experiential tracks, which are maybe beside the norm. This is a band that has been very conservative with the amount of songs they put out. They've all had great impact, and each shows a purposeful concept or ritualistic approach to these pieces, and so far they've all counted. I've been a big fan of this band since their second album released just a couple of years ago, so I was pretty excited for this one, and it more or less repeats the general modus that they've worked at for the last several years, but does well to expand upon a lot of the more memorable and cinematic aspects of the previous album. So we'll cut into a song here just to get a sense of what this sounds like up front, but keep in mind these are long 8 to 15 minute songs, and they tend to develop slowly, or they find their point of release or reveal either later on or in distinct cycles. So as exciting as a lot of these guitar techniques are, a lot of the different rhythmic chances that they take with each piece, and a lot of the variety that they've shown over their discography, I think the tone, the point of fixation that is distraught and despondent has always attracted me to their music and tone, and then sitting with it becomes an experience which is just appreciable over time. And I don't think that there's too much else to say about this band and what they do beyond just the composition and construction of the music and the way that it is so expertly put together. We know some of the people who participate in this music, but really without those kind of resumes behind it, you really do have to focus just on what they're doing here, and it's an interesting experience because I'd like to know what other music they play on. I would assume other bands from this similar label, and that mystery would normally detract from the experience in my just in my experience, because it's kind of a cliche. It's kind of a boring thing to not know anything about music. But if you don't mind that, I think that, focusing on the packaging of the album, the lyrics, and getting a sense for what they're trying to convey here with this project. It's really not that complicated. It's more that it's just set into a very deep set facet. It's very much a sort of every song is a jewel, and it needs time to develop. So that for me that steps into early orthodox black metal approach, but then takes away some of the brutality associated with that, and just goes with some of the more rhythmic play of it. And for me that adds up to a pretty strong experience, but also one that I don't have a lot of conversation to sort of pull into. I think it's just an enjoyable thing that you know when you experience it. I think the standards are still quite high for this band, while still remaining in the realm of like appropriately in the realm of black metal. So for me this is a very high recommendation, and I think because of knowing what, just the way that I think black metal should sound, and then the ways that it can be stretched and contorted. I feel like they've done such a good job of kind of mutilating it and reconfiguring all of those elements into their own sound is almost to the point of complete mastery. I think the last album was better in some ways in terms of its songwriting, but this one is probably a little bit more varietal and creates an experience which is on par and maybe better in terms of its production values. I like how clear the bass and drums are in the mix. I really appreciate the way that the production values create a sense of space, which is more immediate, but still kind of distant and despondent, like I said. So the more that I picked at it, the more that I appreciated every level of it. And I think with some patience, this should be something that a lot of people will enjoy quite a bit. So again, a high recommendation for me. You can check it out now. We're released on the 1st of the month, and that'll be up there in my best of the month for sure.